Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm your host, Attorney William Kirk, President of Washington Gun Law. Today, I want to talk to you about Washington's concealed pistol license. In the last year now, we've had a huge influx and increase in new gun owners, both in Washington state and nationwide. This, of course, has been brought on by the pandemic and general lawlessness that occurred during the summer months last year, and a push by a lot of local governments to suddenly defund our police departments, despite the fact that our streets are becoming increasingly dangerous by the day. So I have talked to hundreds and hundreds of new gun owners in Washington state who want to be lawful and responsible gun owners like what we preach here at Washington Gun Law, but they also want to be able to defend themselves. And so they've applied to get Washington's concealed carry license, or what we call in this state a concealed pistol license, sometimes abbreviated as a CPL. A concealed pistol license is necessary in Washington state if you want to carry a firearm concealed on your person, or if you want to carry that firearm loaded in your automobile. If you do not have a valid concealed pistol license from the state of Washington, or a valid concealed carry license from one of the very few states that Washington will actually recognize out-of-state permits from, then you are not permitted to carry the firearm concealed on your person. You are not allowed to carry the firearm loaded in your automobile. Now remember, Washington state is an open carry state. You are allowed to openly carry a firearm if you wish. But for those of us that are familiar with Washington state and its wide range of geography and political environments, we can certainly recognize that there are some parts of Washington state where open carry would be no problem whatsoever, and other parts of the state where residents may want to call a SWAT team for you. So again, part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner in Washington state is understanding your circumstances and what's appropriate and when it's appropriate. Now, if you're looking to get a concealed pistol license, you probably have run into a lot of problems that everyone else is running into, which is that the ongoing pandemic has severely limited police resources and their ability to have interactions with public. And therefore, some of the paperwork or fingerprinting necessary in order to get CPLs done has been delayed significantly. It is estimated that there could be as many as 45,000 CPL applications currently being held up by local police departments, not because they're trying to hold them up, but simply because they don't have the resources and manpower necessary to process all of that. If you're looking to get your concealed pistol license, you should visit us at washingtongunlaw.com/concealed carry, and we'll walk you through the entire process. But I'm going to explain to you here for a few minutes, how do you go about doing that? In Washington state, we are a shall issue state. That means that the state of Washington shall issue you a concealed pistol license unless the state of Washington can establish that you are otherwise ineligible to possess a firearm. That means that if the record checks simply do not come back in time, or the state of Washington is unable to find any records that would prohibit you from possessing a firearm, you will and shall be issued that concealed pistol license. Now, the application needs to be done at your local police department for where you live. If you live inside a municipality, you must go to that municipal police department. For example, if you lived inside the city limits of Tacoma, Washington, your application would go to the Tacoma Police Department. If you lived in an unincorporated part of the county outside of the city limits of Tacoma and outside the city limits of any other municipality, your application would then go to the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. So for those of you who live within city limits, you will go to your municipal police department. For those of you who do not live inside a city, you will go to your county sheriff's department. Now remember this, even if you get a concealed pistol license, there are certain restrictions, because even with the license, as you are aware, there are some places that we cannot take a firearm no matter what. One of those places is any courthouse facility. Under no circumstance can a firearm be taken inside a courthouse. Now, by law, all courthouses at security checkpoints must have facilities available so that if a person wanted to carry their firearm to the front door, they would have the ability to do so, check it in with the marshals, and pick it up on their way back out. Firearms cannot be carried into correctional facilities. Firearms cannot be carried on any of our main college campuses in this state by administrative code rules. Firearms cannot be carried to any educational facility or property, any school, primary or secondary, with one exception, and that is being that a firearm could be carried with a parent or in an automobile if that parent is either going to pick their kids up at school or to drop them off in school. But under no other circumstances can a firearm be possessed on school grounds. Firearms cannot be possessed in any mental health facility. Firearms cannot be possessed at any airport facility. And most importantly, and unique to Washington State, firearms cannot be possessed in any place designated as age 21 and over. So you cannot possess a firearm, even with a CPL, if you are in a bar, a tavern, a cocktail lounge, or one of Washington's cannabis stores. Well, I hope that answers most of your questions about Washington's concealed pistol license requirements. Listen, you may have some more questions, and if you do, feel free to give us a call at 425-765-0487. Again, that's 425-765-0487, or you can visit us at washingtongunlaw.com. If you want to learn more about concealed carry licenses there, visit us at washingtongunlaw.com/concealed carry firearms. Listen, it's your job to be the lawful and responsible gun owner, and the way to do that is to know the law backwards and forwards and how it applies to you in each and every instance that you may find yourself in. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Washington Gun Law TV.